Hey everybody, and welcome back to my playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS, done in a completionist style. So I thought a little bit about what we're going to do, and you know what, I'm just going to memorize only magic missile, because we're going to do a fight that magic damage is pretty good at. Unfortunately, since she's only level 4, her magic missile spells are only going to produce 2 magic missiles. Once at level 5 she would have 3 magic missiles, which would make the spell way more effective, but we have to make do with what we have available to us.
Certainly.
Anyway, we have a lot to accomplish, so let's just... another NPC project. I'm just going to click through, not too quickly, so you can read it. It's a pretty good banter, I recognize it. Minsc has a good point here. Boo's my friend. I listen to your advice too. Oh yeah, off floor is another rank of these female spellcasters in Rashomon. Right. What's going on there? Stop getting stuck. Okay.
Perhaps it is done. Certainly.
Okay. The identification session is going to have to wait, by the way. I think although we are running a little bit... Well, you know what? Let's just quickly sell some mundane stuff. And we have one of those winter wolf pelts, which this guy is going to pay us 500 gold for.
Business has been poor.
Yeah, fine looking pelt. 500 gold. Nice.
The customer is always right.
Thank you very much. Now we're just going to quickly sell all these... See, the mithril rings are worth 375 gold. That's pretty nice. Let's just do this quickly. We picked up a lot of these basic gems at the Knoll Stronghold and on the way. Alright, but we're done now. 9,000 gold. Over 9,000 gold, actually. You can sell the autograph for 25 gold from Larry and the 2 Daryls. You can sell some basic equipment. You can sell these. Actually, you don't need spell halberds anymore anyway. You can sell nearest staff, 250 gold. Not too bad, not too bad. Well, let's just buy a normal quarterstaff for... Are you even proficient in quarterstaffs? Nope. Only slings, but have some melee option
certainly
available to you. Alright, now let's proceed and engage in some more adventuring. We're going to go to the Drizzt area.
It is done.
Drizzt's area. And here we have quite a few things to do. First I'm going to explore the eastern side of the map, because there's a few points of interest.
What?
You know, you only have 15 of these thrown daggers.
You've attacked. Nature's servant awaits.
Let's just
I am indeed. It is done.
use Sinashira to kite these slow ghouls. And use some ranged weapons, but not the throwing daggers, they are precious right now. You know, I could quickly go to like the Friendly Armin, not the Friendly Armin, to Baragost to buy some throwing daggers from Terom's shop, but you know, we might end up doing that actually, because there's no other good way to dealing with this situation, I guess. I should have stocked up more, but you know, as you know, I forgot to buy the throwing daggers. So here's a hobgoblin in need of healing that tries to intimidate us. Why should we help you? Or why should we do anything but kill you? And he thinks he's going to intimidate us. You degenerate, foul-smelling beast. And he's like, wait, hey, I'm sorry, just don't kill me, bro. I'll tell you about the chill. You can shut up and get out of here. And we're going to do some target practice. Our archers, that is. And see if you can get away before before we pepper you with arrows. Well, you had your chance. And he has 100 gold.
Yes?
Well, he had his chance. Oh yeah, let Kiranai make use of that +1 dagger. And we need Minsc in the front lines too.
Sir, you've a task?
And Jaheira now.
Done.
They're using the +1, yeah, the +1 club.
Yes, it is done.
So that was him. There's a pretty, well, potentially a little dangerous fight coming up. Here. And it's potentially dangerous because it has an SCS mage in the person of Gembi.
So I kicked him in the head till he was dead.
I love these lines. The voice actor that did the bandit voices, this one and the other one that we're going to hear later, it's just amazing. Alright, so of course they want our weapons and our metal. We surrender to no one. Stupid, stupid! Alright, so you know what? I'm not going to take any chances here. They are of course immune to sleep.
I am
Because
here.
they're level 5 or 6, around there. And what we're going to do is use our
Your concern.
missile attack.
What is it?
And we're going to focus down this mage with ranged weapons,
Whatever that
if we
means.
can. You know, you're going to wait for a second and see if you can do something effective. So Gembi has mirror image and ghost armor, but she doesn't have shield. So we can use magic missiles on her to reduce the amount of her mirror images. And of course she immediately casts sleep on Kiranai. That's why Kiranai is going to run like hell.
Yes?
Senashira and Jaheira are going to charge in. Oh, not yet. We're waiting for that missile blast that Minsc used just
Yes.
now.
Fine.
Keep running.
I am here.
And we're going to move... Alright, so her mirror images are already down.
Your concern?
Minsc, you know what? You're going to use your bow, you and Kivin.
What a simple matter.
Alright, so Kiranai is asleep. Kivin resisted that because he's an elf, so he has 90% resistance chance for that. And Dynaheir is poisoned because I did a stupid thing and charged on with her, and this hobgoblin archer has arrows of biting. She has a special ability, by the way, which is slow poison, but if it ticks right as she is about to cast that, it might interrupt that cast.
Yes?
Let's deal with that mage finally. Alright,
I
that's
am
cool.
here. It is done. Yes?
You might get to use your unique spear. And Minsc, you know what, attack in melee. I'm just going to wait until this ticks on Dynaheir, and then we can use slow poison so she can dispel herself without the possibility of that one tick of poison damage interrupting her spellcast. Okay, now guys, come on. This is embarrassing. This is funny. Like, is someone going to successfully hit him? Guys, hello. Put some effort into it, dude. Alright, Kivin. Alright, Kivin, you're my man.
You're indeed.
Senashira is just getting wrecked by this guy. Well, I should really use that for later. If there's a critical situation or we're out of heals. What is this guy's armor class? Did he use some kind of a sick potion at the beginning to buff up his armor class? Did he quaff a potion? Doesn't even look like it. Or maybe I'm just skimming too quickly and I'm not seeing it. If I'm not seeing something obvious, then I apologize, but you know, it happens. I want to keep up the pace here. So it might be the case that I missed something obvious. We have some scrolls, which are pretty decent. There was some resist fear over there. Oh yeah. Actually, Dynaheir should be able to...
Thou to touch me like you know me.
And because she has both good intelligence and good wisdom, she actually gets a lore bonus out of that 15 wisdom. She actually has quite a good lore, being a mage with both of these good stats. Also, you can give her a tome of, well, 2 tomes of wisdom. You can actually like dual class her into a cleric if you like.
Yes, it is done.
Watch thee where they place that pointer.
That's so cute.
They called.
They called.
It is done.
She is... that voice, man.
Your concern? Yes, certainly.
Ah, what now?
Well,
Need your
I'm just
power
waiting for
present?
Kiranai to wake up from that sleep. So in the meantime, we can use some spells. You know what? I'm just going to use it.
Indeed.
Come on now. Any second now. Oh yeah, the point I was going to make there is because she has pretty good lore, she actually might be able to identify some of this like +1 stuff. This one probably not, because this is a +2. See, flail +1. Okay. Longsword is apparently not enough. Short sword +1. She is able to identify. This is just a mage robe of fire resistance. You might hold on to that. Okay, just give me a second to quickly check these. Yeah, arrow +1. As you can see, it gets a bonus, a further bonus to Thaco and to damage. These bonuses to damage unfortunately are nerfed in Baldur's Gate 2. All that's left are the bonuses to Thaco. Just trying out different pieces of equipment if she can just quickly identify with her lore. Oh, see? This is the Helm of Infravision. Infravision is completely useless when it comes to game mechanics. This is actually going to go to Jaheira. I just like having stuff identified, you know, and I think it's good for the... You can identify these golden pantaloons, but it's not going to tell you any more about them. Another banter from the NPC project. Layeth east of here, betwixt Thay and Ashenath. Yeah, there are basically like constant tensions between the Red Wizards of Thay and the Witches of Rashamen. Alright, finally.
Certainly.
If you know this area, I know.
It is done.
You know about Drizzt being over
Yes?
there in the center of the area. We're going to go there last. And since I'm a good aligned person, I am not going to kill Drizzt in this playthrough. However, I am going to make a separate save, and I'm going to make a bonus quick video where I do kill him. I just don't want to waste time in this episode.
Yes?
I am going to make, like I said, a short bonus episode where I show you how I kill him in a pretty much the most non-cheesy way that I think is possible. Or that's my kind of favorite way, because you don't really abuse any game mechanics by doing what I do. But it seems like the most fair, I guess. Because there's a million ways that you can kill even the Enhanced Edition SCS Drizzt. Because Enhanced Edition buffed up Drizzt, and then SCS also gives him a slightly better AI. The Enhanced Edition gave him some spells, so he's not, you know, such a pushover
Yes, a simple matter.
that you can exploit like, you know, 10 different AI weaknesses or whatever, like in the classic BG1, to kill him. But still, there are some ways where you can kind of exploit the different targeting priorities and kind of
Yes,
kite him around. Is that the fisherman?
Ew, pal.
This one is a funny one. I failed to catch your meaning, eh? Catch? Yeesh, quite the stoic bunch of prudes, aren't you? He's a pretty funny guy. By the way, I also decided to like click through a little bit more through these conversations. I know that, you know, the problem is that I have so many like favorite quotes and just lines that I like from this game. I just can't resist, and I just end up reading almost all of them. But you can of course pause and read them yourself. Of course, the other guy was referencing Torlo here. So yeah, Torlo used to be a miner, but was forced to seek a new profession to make ends meet. So he decided to do some fish wrangling. And there was another thing that I wanted to say. And I think I forgot. We have all the areas uncovered here, right? Yes. So there's some random encounters, pretty much random spawns here to deal with. Just want to save here because Drizzt is nearby. We're gonna have a nice event with the gnolls and Drizzt. Here he is.
All I wish is to continue my journey. Friends await while I must suffer this tiresome dance.
So make...
Mere mention of Drizzt attract your ilk.
Alright, now he's finished. So make note how he's in a hurry. Like from his voiced line, you can... you know, we will aid him here. You know, he's basically in a hurry to get back north to Icewind Dale because his friends await and whatnot.
Is it? What? A simple matter.
Now we have one throwing dagger left. Anyway, you can see that Drizzt just has a lot of attacks per round. He just one-shots all of those pretty much. And he has pretty insane stats. He has like 90 or 95% magic resistance.
Certainly.
He also has an armor class that's so good that you pretty much are only going to hit him on a critical hit on a natural 20. That always hits. Anyway, you can pretty much kill him even with the enhanced edition and with the SCS mods, like pretty much straight out of Candlekeep with my favorite strategy here. So I'm going to make a save quickly here, Drizzt, and I'm going to make a bonus episode after this one, where I just kill him. But here we're going to talk to him, because this is going to be needed for that Dynaheir's quest to progress. You might be surprised, but yes, it does involve Drizzt, who is apparently in such a hurry.
All this chatter is fine, but I have places I'd rather be.
So he has places to be. And of course, Kivin being so elfy, he has to say like, Cesa omentien. Oh my god. But, you know, it's a decent line, aside from that. Shevarash is the god Kivin worships, because that's the god of revenge, I believe, the elven god of revenge. And Shevarash has a grimmer perspective. And Drizzt worships Miliki, who is a surface goddess of nature, and the rangers, or something like that. You know, their portfolio of the gods are a little broad sometimes. So of course he tells us about the mercenaries, that there are two mercenary groups, the Black Talons and the Chill, and they are basically those bandits who raid the caravans, and he has met them on his way, I guess. If you have the NPC project and you have Edwin here, they actually both Drizzt and Edwin have some pretty decently witty things to say to each other. But Drizzt has the last word, pretty much. So yeah, he says this, like, perhaps I should seek you out elsewhere along the Sorkos. Why would he? He's in a hurry. That's basically the problem with that Dynaheir's quest. Now that we've met him, an event should trigger once we rest or once we travel to one of the neighboring areas, I think. And yeah, this is pretty much the everything this area has to offer. Oh, by the way, the thing I forgot to tell you is these half-ogres that we killed here, those are the half-ogres the paladin Bjornin in Beregost wanted us to kill. So now we have that quest done, and if we go back to Beregost, we will receive a medium shield +1 from him, which is going to be a nice little upgrade for Jaheira. Jaheira? So not just because of Drizzt and just because of that quest, I am going to rest here and see if that spawns. Boo wants a story. And this is also a pretty funny one. About a guy, Orovar, that stole Dynaheir's clothes one time when she was swimming. And pretty much Minsc just unknowingly blackmails her to tell Boo a story. Shilmista is the Forest of Shadows, I guess, that he hails from. Oh, like, look at this, dude. Oh, this is like a too romantic one, I guess. As you wish. I mean, Hireta. Jesus, like... Is it not elfy enough that... Whatever, I'm not even gonna talk about it. So yeah, I think it's like upon traveling to some of the neighboring areas, I think this happens. Let's try this one, because I wanted to go here anyway.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, here he is. Drizzt spawns here.
All I wish is to continue my journey.
Alright, we've heard this line from him before, but, you know, he reiterates yet again that he's in a hurry to reach the, you know, to go back to Icewind Dale in the north. But somehow he is still here. Good hunting, friend. I found a peculiar scroll on one of the bodies of some gnolls who accosted me. It appears to be a page torn from a larger volume, and I do not recognize the language. Maybe it is some kind of a cipher. A bad sign this is. Perhaps the gnolls in the area serve someone more formidable, and that is the way they communicate. And that's going to be a page out of Dynaheir's journal. If you have a learned scholar. Oh yeah, Hathran. I think that's her rank. And then Dynaheir's rank. In that witch order. Yeah, there's Witch Laren and Othor and Hathran. Pretty cool names, actually. And this is the silly thing. Okay, he found this page and apparently just brought this page to us for some reason. But anyway, okay, we want to look for the torn pages of Dynaheir's journal, and all of a sudden Drizzt, who just all he wanted was to go north back to his friends because he has business elsewhere, all of a sudden, I will gladly help, as you have helped me earlier. I was going to patrol hereabouts regardless. Why would he patrol? He says something completely different. Let's look for the journal together. Yeah, let us convene here after a day of searching.
Your concern?
So pretty much I think you just need to rest once or something. Like first you need to trigger an event where there's going to be a bunch of gnolls that will randomly spawn. And I'm going like in a particular way about this area because This area consists of an event at the end of which we're going to be pretty much teleported back to Nashkel. That's why I wanted... Okay, here they are.
Yes, certainly.
That's why I wanted to go to this area, because when we finish this whole area, there's a few things to do in this area. Then we trigger the event down here, which is going to teleport us back to Nashkel, and then we have business in Nashkel to deal with. So yeah, that's my current plan as to our route. So yeah, those are friendly gnolls that came to warn the witch that the old one is hunting. This is pretty good. You, Gnoll. I, human hero. I will kill you now, Gnoll. And basically why they are friendly is because apparently Dynaheir's journal had a charm on it, and I guess they are just temporarily charmed to be, you know, friendly, and I think instead of hatred feel the opposite feelings or something like that. She's going to explain through this dialogue. So that's why they came out here to warn her, because they feel that killing is wrong. Yeah, Priest of Mistra blessed my journal and placed a ward on it that any creature of evil disposition would turn around for a time in its nature, should it try to open it without mine permission. Yeah, so that's why they are good aligned for a time. Alright, so you get quite a bit of experience here. And then we will later meet up with Drizzt. Like, basically the silly thing about this whole thing is that Drizzt's involvement. Why isn't even there, you know? Why did they need to involve Drizzt, like a major hero that apparently has pressing business elsewhere, and then he just randomly decides to look for some random person's journal? Just walking around the area looking for torn pages. It just makes no sense. So yeah, basically I'm going here. I want to just avoid this area for now. I'm going to have to like get to the center of the map pretty much, but in a bit of a roundabout way. And before ending this episode, I would like to do this area, but I'm not sure if we're going to make it. I mean, there are still quite a few things to do here. By the way, as a result of that 2,000 experience that we just got, our Kansai girls got some level ups. These level ups are not as impressive as level 3, of course.
Yes,
nothing
indeed.
is going to be that impressive. Well, level 6 is going to be another major level up. For them, but you know, we're getting somewhere now. We are level 4 at some of our characters, or level 3. Now we have our characters have a bit of a health pool. You know, Minsc has 33, Jaheira has 36, Senashira has 40 hit points. You know, we're slowly steadying, getting somewhere. Another hobgoblin that wants to die, so we're going to grant him his wish.
A simple matter.
He has some kobold friends that have fire arrows +2, I believe. Alright, that was super effective.
Certainly.
Now we can go and finish them off.
I'll kill the bastard with done it.
There's a bear that wants to die too.
As you wish.
So we can get some of those fire arrows from them, which is nice. We have a few. Can you identify them, Dynaheir? Nope. That's okay.
Certainly.
We know what they are. Alright, so that's basically this thing. Now we're going to move on to these ruins here. There's kind of one of the two major things in this area, pretty much,
Your concern, indeed.
to deal with. It's going to be kind of a quest, a little storyline involving the ruins here. And of course, as usual, we can go solve it in a couple of ways. Oh, here are some minor monsters that we haven't seen before. Those are Tasloi.
Your life.
They are nothing special. They are just kind of basic, common enemies. As you can see, they die pretty easily.
Your concern. Yes?
Oh, I'm just clicking here. I don't want these spears.
Indeed. Your indeed. Yes?
Right,
It
so
is
this is
done.
going to be
I
kind of
am
like an
here.
ancient dig site for like an archaeological
Certainly.
dig site with Charleston Nib here.
Leave us alone, will ya? Nothing for you here.
So Kivin actually has a pretty spot-on warning. So basically Charleston Nib is going to want to hire us to protect this excavation. He's an archaeologist and he's apparently close to finding some ancient civilization. So here he gives us the exposition. Feel free to pause and read about it. So yeah, we are going wow, I'm stumbling over my words again. We're going to aid him in his quest for knowledge. Now comes Galler. Why, hello there. Could we just step aside a moment and have a little chat away from prying ears? First, my name is Galler. Second, we never had this conversation. So basically he wants to get some wealth out of this whole operation, and he wants us to essentially assassinate Charleston in order to sell whatever we can uncover here instead of bringing it to a museum or whatever. So he is quite an evil dude. Although, interestingly enough, I don't think he is evil aligned in the game engine. I'm not sure if it's because of an oversight or not, but he wants to do us a pretty evil thing, and of course we will refuse him. You are playing just as safe as the old man. So be it. I will find other means to acquire fair measure of profit from this fiasco.
Yes?
We can actually kill him before he gets away, because he's a villain. And I don't like leaving him alive. Although a later conversation option is going to assume that he's still alive, because we will be able to warn Charleston of Galler's plans. Right, so here comes a cutscene. We apparently broke through to some shaman's quarters. It's a little bit of a traffic jam. But believe it or not, this is actually better than in the patch 2.0, where they messed something up. And the diggers apparently don't feel so good, and they are going to fail at resisting this overwhelming feeling. Some voices in their heads. Your blood will quiet the voice. Blood will quiet. Kozah. So, Kozah is apparently some ancient god, but I've read somewhere that it's supposed to actually be some kind of an ancient name of Talos, the god of lightning. But I'm not sure if this is true or if it's some ancient god. I kind of like to assume that this is, you know, some ancient force that we should never have uncovered.
Yes?
Yeah, so he recognized the name Kozah, and we found an artifact that's surely cursed. And we can warn him about Galler. So we get one reputation for doing it the good way. And here is that idol of Kozah. Now, when we possess this idol, see, it's Kozah the Storm Star. That's why I think it has some relation to Talos. Yeah, God of Storms. Anyway, if we
Yes?
leave this place with this idol in our possession, there's going to be a certain opponent that will not want us to leave with this idol. And basically this idol, we can sell it, which you don't get any reputation penalty or anything for that, but, you know, it is kind of evil to, you know, just sell it somewhere and let it, you know, get out there and into the world. Or we can bring it to a certain person, which I will explain more later, because it's aside from this one, you also have to have an ancient armor, and if you bring both the idol and the ancient armor to a certain person, you can get a cursed sword. But I'm just going to get this idol outside here. So here's this doomsayer.
Nature's good as done.
It is done.
What a simple matter.
There is as you wish.
Make way, butt kicking for goodness!
So he speaks in a different language that we cannot understand. No help for thee, only sleep, eternal sleep of one forgotten, death of gods, idol take thee while you hold, I reclaim. So this is a pretty tough opponent. He's worth 4,000 experience though. He's immune to lightning, so we cannot use our wand of lightning, unfortunately. But he's not immune to magic damage, so we can pepper him with those magic arrows. I think he's immune to non-magical weapons, which I think I remember that pretty clearly, but let Minsc test it.
I am here.
And we're going to soon send Senashira also, and Kiven, because they have magic weapons, and he's not immune. He's also immune to missile damage, that's why I'm not using the arrows +1.
Fine.
He's not immune to any other physical damage type though, and he can deal some pretty good damage, because aside from physical damage he also has fire damage on his sword, I guess. It's pretty hard to hit, and we're just going to keep on using magic missile. Yeah, Kirinai can do some damage, Senashira can do damage. As you can see, he is immune to the lightning portion of Senashira's damage from her warhammer. Oh, Minsc did actually 15 damage, so he's not immune to non-magical weapons. As you can see, 4,000 experience.
Your concern?
Pretty
Yes,
nice.
It is done.
And just for the role-playing value of it, I understand that this
I am here.
idol
Certainly.
is so dangerous that it's better left here. I'm just going to put this back here. Alright,
Your concern,
so I know we're a little bit over time, quite a bit actually, but there's only one thing left to do in this area, and I want to do it. And that's going to transport us back to Nashkel, and we will resume our adventures after this one. Once we're back in Nashkel, after what's going to happen here. Let's just teleport down here so this proceeds accordingly. It's going to be Larissa here.
Yes, certainly. I am here.
I'm stupid. It's over here.
It is done. Yes?
You'll feel the sting in my boot if you bother me further.
Apparently, I think she's a sister of Commander Brage, who is apparently here. And you know, we already know about him, but if we insist on killing him, she is going to attack us. She has actually a small shield +1, but you know, it's kind of an evil thing to do, so let's ask who is this Brage. And see, she tells us about some curse that befell him. Oh, she is his cousin. And as you can see, this is a place of just slaughter. Horses and men
Greetings, playthings.
are dead here.
Thou hast
It is
found
done.
me when I alone could not.
Greetings, playthings. Yeah, so she implores us to save him from his present agony, if there is a way to do so. So, he presents us with a riddle. I pray you left a trail of crumbs to lead us all back again. The others did not, so they have decided to stay. Shall we try to find the way home together? I pose to you a riddle, the answer to which I once knew but now cannot perceive. Remind me, and we shall all return unto the day. Fail, and stay with me in the dark, forgetting whence we came. So the riddle is as follows. It has neither mouth nor teeth, yet it eats its food steadily. It is neither village nor home, neither hands nor feet, yet it wanders everywhere. It is neither country, nor means, nor office, nor pen, yet it is ready for fight, always. By day and by night there is wailing about it. It has no breath, yet to all it appears. And he's talking about death. The end of night, where the light shines onto mine eyes, and I can see clearly once again. What hath I wrought? 'Tis horrible, horrible! I will welcome the block that must await me at Nashkel. How could I live with what I've done? Please, thou must guide me to this town, that I might pay for my crimes. Jesus, my reading. I fear I can keep my senses for only so long, and I must not be allowed to do this again. Too many good people have lost their lives to me. Please. So we can take him to this Temple of Helm, as Nalin, the cleric of Helm, suggested. I fear I can do nothing for those I've wronged, whether I live or die, and I still know not what led me to this. It's like a foul presence in my mind. I can only imagine that I have finally succumbed to battle fatigue. Take my weapon that I might not harm another. Use it if thou wish, though I'd rather it be destroyed. Innocent blood on everything. I'd only just acquired the sword. Such a waste this has been. Take me to Nashkel. I can bear this no longer. So if we put 2 and 2 together, with the information that we've previously had and from what he tells us, it's obviously a cursed sword that he procured shortly before his rampage that made him do this. And he gives us the sword so that he might not harm another, and we will see that it's a cursed sword of berserking that made him do this.
Greetings, playthings. Thou hast found me.
So we're back in Nashkel at the Temple of Helm. No, I cannot show my face here after what I've done. Just give me to the guard that I might take my punishment as I should. Do not disgrace me further in front of Helm. Nalin says, Calm yourself, Brage. Helm sees all that he wishes, and knows much of what you do not. It was your hands indeed that did many a foul deed, but it was not your will alone. Intent is vital, and yours was influenced without your knowledge. Justice will be done, but with atonement, not punishment. So Dynaheir commands Nalin, I trust that thou hast learned a valuable lesson about justice today. But my crimes, my family, I don't want to go on. If you are returned to the garrison, yours will be the only willful killing that has occurred about this matter. It would be a waste of your life which, fractured though it is, can still contribute much. Helm will see you through. As for our intrepid friends here, I shall exceed the reward offered by Oblak. After all, it was the same task of bringing Brage to justice. The temple is in your debt for the return of its lost son. So you even get a greater reward than if you killed him and went to Oblak for your bounty. And he actually has a pretty sad and like, kind of madness-ridden voice here. Dang. On that note, we will wrap this episode up, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.